set a goal to get in shape, but your daily standard tolerates skipping workouts and eating poorly. You set a goal to build wealth, but your daily standard allows lifestyle spending that absorbs every dollar. The goal can't survive on top of the standard that contradicts it. Here's the truth. Goals are not the variable. Standards are the variable. The standards are what determine your daily behavior. Daily behavior, sustained for years, is what produces every outcome you've ever called a goal. Without the right standards, the goal can't arrive. With the right standards, the goal arrives almost automatically as a byproduct of how you've been living. You see, this is one of the most ignored truths in modern personal development. The whole industry is built on goal setting, New Year's resolutions, vision boards, quarterly OKRs, big, hairy, audacious goals, all of it focused on what you want to achieve. Almost none of it focused on what you actually accept from yourself daily. And the gap between the ambitious goal and the unambitious daily standard is where the failure lives. Today, I want to walk you through 5 things you must understand about this. By the end, you'll see why most of your goals have been failing for years. And you'll see exactly what to do instead, starting today, before you set another goal that's doomed by your current standards. Spoiler, the answer isn't more discipline. The answer isn't a better goal-setting system. The answer is to stop setting goals entirely for a period, while you raise the daily standards that everything else depends on. That single shift produces more results than 10 years of ambitious goal setting ever did. Now, before we get into the 5 things, you have to understand what mismatched standards have been costing you for years. Because most people who set ambitious goals don't see why the goals fail. They blame motivation. They blame circumstances. They blame their willpower or their schedule or their tools. They keep setting bigger goals, hoping that this time the result will be different. It isn't and won't be, as long as the standards stay where they are. Here's the truth. Every goal you've set in the last decade that didn't happen because your standards couldn't support it. The goal required behavior that your daily floor didn't tolerate. The goal asked for a version of you that your standards weren't producing. So the goal lived in your head for a while, then quietly died, while your standards kept producing the version of you they always had. You see, the goal and the standards are on different planes. The goal lives in aspiration. The standards live in daily reality. The aspiration can be set in 5 minutes on a Sunday afternoon. The daily reality is what's actually happening, 24 hours a day, every day of your life. The aspiration can't override the reality. The reality is what it is. But here's what most goal-setting people don't realize. They've been treating goals as the leverage point. The goals were never the leverage point. The standards were. The years of goal setting that produced nothing were years that could have been spent raising standards. The standards would have, in turn, produced the outcomes the goals were aimed at, almost as byproducts. You cannot exceed your standards, period. The version of you that your standards produce is the version that operates every single day. That version is what hits or misses the goal. If the standards don't produce a version of you that's capable of reaching the goal won't be reached. No amount of motivational language, planning, accountability, or willpower will overcome the gap between your goals and your standards. You must take this seriously, because the goal-setting industry has trained you to believe the goals are the problem. They aren't. The standards are. And the standards can be raised deliberately over a year or two in ways that will then produce goal-level outcomes without you ever having to set the goals. 5 things, all about standards. By the end, you'll know exactly why your goals have been failing and exactly what to fix instead. The first thing you must understand is the difference between a goal and a standard. They sound similar, they're related, they're not the same thing. And confusing them is what produces a decade of unmet ambitions. You see, a goal describes an outcome you want to reach. write a book, lose 20 pounds, save $100,000, build a business. Each goal is a destination, a point in the future where the desired outcome has been achieved. The goal is aspirational, specific, and time-bound in the best formulations. None of that by itself produces behavior. A standard, on the other hand, describes behavior you hold yourself to daily. The minimum daily writing you'll do, regardless of mood. The minimum daily movement you'll engage in. The minimum financial discipline you'll maintain. The standards aren't destinations. They're the baseline behaviors that, sustained, produce the destinations. Here's the truth. Goals are not behavior. Standards are. The goal is something you want. The standard is something you do. Goals can sit in your head for years without producing any action. Standards, once installed, produce action every single day without negotiation, because the standard defines what you do, regardless of whether you feel like it. The fix is to translate every goal into the standards it would require. Not as a one-time exercise, as your default mental move. Whenever you have a goal in mind, you ask, what's the daily standard that would, if I held it for 2 years, produce this goal as a byproduct? The answer is almost always a specific daily behavior at a specific minimum level. The book goal becomes 30 minutes of writing every day minimum. The weight goal becomes a minimum amount of daily movement plus specific food rules. The wealth goal becomes a minimum monthly investment plus a spending cap. The business goal becomes a specific number of outreach actions or product building hours per week. Each goal translates into a set of daily standards. You then drop the goal entirely, mentally, and focus on the standards. The standards are what you hold yourself to. The goal becomes the natural result of the standards running for long enough. You don't have to think about the goal. You think about whether you hit your standards today. That's the only question that matters. This shift from goal-focused to standard-focused thinking is one of the most important moves in adult life. Most people never make it. They keep their attention on goals that they're not behaviorally supporting. The attention stays misallocated. The years pass. The goals stay unreached. The standards never get raised because the attention was on the wrong layer the whole time. Make the shift. You have to translate every goal into standards. Then drop the goal mentally and focus only on whether you're hitting the standards. That's the entire technology. The goal handles itself downstream when the standards are consistently met. The second thing you have to understand is where your actual standards live. Because most people asked about their standards will describe their aspirations. The aspirations are not the standards. The standards are visible in much smaller, more ordinary places. You see, your real standards are visible in how you handle the small things, how you make your bed, whether you finish what you start, how you respond when somebody disrespects your time, the tidiness of your workspace, the promptness of your replies to important messages, the cleanliness of your daily diet, the consistency of your sleep schedule, the dozens of small daily decisions that don't feel like much individually, but that taken together describe the actual standards you operate under. Here's the truth. The small daily things are not separate from the big aspirations. They are the same standards applied to different scales. The person who can't keep their kitchen clean is unlikely to build a clean and successful business. The person who doesn't follow through on small commitments is unlikely to follow through on large ones. The person who lets their daily diet slide is unlikely to build the body they say they want. The pattern of behavior at the small scale is the pattern that will run at the large scale. You cannot operate at one set of standards on the small things and a higher set on the big things. The standards are continuous. They show up everywhere. The fix is to audit your standards at the small, daily level, because that's where the actual variable lives. Walk through your day with an honest eye. How's your bed? How's your kitchen? How are your daily commitments to yourself? How tight is your schedule? How consistently do you follow through on small things? Each answer is data about where your actual standards are running. And if the small-scale answers are weak, the large-scale aspirations will keep failing. The fix is not to set bigger goals. The fix is to raise the small-scale standards first. Make the bed. Finish what you start. Reply promptly. Keep the workspace tidy. Eat clean. Sleep consistently. Each one is small. None of them are dramatic. All of them raised together produce a version of you that the previous version of you could not produce. And from that new version, the larger aspirations become reachable. Not because you set bigger goals, because the standards that produce the small behaviors also produce the large outcomes, scaled appropriately. This is why standards first work is more powerful than goal first work. The standards apply to your whole life, not just the goal area. Raising them affects everything simultaneously. The goal is one outcome of standards. The full life that runs at higher standards is the actual outcome. The goal is a small subset of what the higher standards produce. The third thing you got to understand is why raising standards is hard. It's not because it requires more effort exactly. It's because it requires raising the version of you that's allowed to operate on your worst days. Most people accept a low floor for themselves on tired days, stress days, bad mood days. Raising standards means removing that low floor. The version of you that runs on bad days has to be higher than it used to be. You see, this is the part that almost nobody talks about. Standards aren't tested on good days. Good days run themselves. The motivation is there. The energy is there. The discipline isn't required. Standards are tested on bad days. The day you're tired, the day you're stressed, the day something went wrong, the day you don't want to do the thing. On those days, your actual standard reveals itself. The standard is whatever you do on the worst day, not the best one. Here's the truth. The standard is not what you do on your good days. The standard is what you do on your worst day. And most people have a very low floor for their worst day. They skip workouts, they eat badly, they cancel plans, they abandon practices, they let things slide. The bad day version of themselves operates at a level dramatically lower than the good day version. And that low floor is what their actual standards are. The fix is to raise the floor specifically, not to be perfect every day, to be acceptable on every day, including bad ones. The minimum is what you hold to, regardless of mood. The maximum can vary, the minimum cannot. Every day produces at least the minimum, every day without exception. This is uncomfortable because it requires giving up the negotiations you used to have with yourself on bad days. The I deserve a break voice, the I'll do double tomorrow voice, the today is special, the rules don't apply voice. All of those voices have to be silenced on bad days especially, because bad days are when standards matter most. What you'll find is that the bad days run at the higher standard are actually better days. The discipline produces energy. The execution produces self-respect. The not negotiating produces freedom from the daily internal debate. The bad day, raised to the minimum standard, becomes a day you can be proud of. The pattern of pride accumulates. The identity shifts. And once the floor is raised, the average day raises with it. The maximum day raises with it. The whole distribution shifts upward. Not because you're trying harder, because the minimum that you accept from yourself has changed. The good days take care of themselves. The bad days, held to the new standard, produce a different life than the old bad days produced. The fourth thing is what happens when you actually run the standards first approach for long enough. The goals you would have set start arriving on their own as byproducts of the standards. You don't have to chase them. They come to you because the version of you that the standards produce is the version that the goals required. You see, this is what most goal-setting people never experience because they never run the experiment. They keep setting goals and chasing them directly. The chasing fails. They never see what would have happened if they dropped the goals and focused on the standards instead. Let me tell you about a woman I once knew. She was in her mid-30s when I met her. She had been a goal setter her entire adult life. Every January, she set ambitious goals for the year. By April, most of them had quietly died. The pattern had repeated for a decade. She had piles of unmet goals in old notebooks. She had read the books on goal setting. She had tried various systems. The pattern persisted. A mentor told her something blunt. The problem isn't your goals. Your goals are fine. The problem is your daily standards don't support them. You set a goal to write a book, but your daily standard is to write nothing. You set a goal to lose 20 pounds, but your daily standard tolerates skipping workouts and eating whatever's easy. You set a goal to save more money, but your daily standard allows whatever spending feels reasonable in the moment. The goals can't survive on top of standards that contradict them. He told her to do something that felt almost wrong. For 1 year, set no goals, none. Don't make a list of what you want to achieve. Don't set quarterly targets. Don't track anything related to outcomes. Instead, raise your standards. Pick 3 or 4 daily standards that, if held for a year, would produce the kind of version of yourself you've been aiming at all along. She took the advice. She picked 4 standards. 30 minutes of writing every morning, no exceptions. A minimum amount of daily movement, no exceptions. No processed food during the work week. In bed by 10:30 every night. Those 4 standards held every day for 1 year. The first month was hard. The standards kept getting tested. She missed days. She caught herself. She kept holding the line. By month 3, the standards had become routine. The daily writing was happening. The movement was happening. The food was clean. The sleep was consistent. She wasn't tracking any goals. She was just hitting her standards. By month 6, she noticed that the things she would have set as goals were starting to happen on their own. The writing had accumulated into a substantial draft of a book. The movement plus food had changed her body. The sleep had improved her energy and focus, which improved her work. The wealth was building because she wasn't spending on convenience food and stress purchases the way she used to. By month 12, she had achieved more in that 1 no-goal year than in the previous 5 years of goal setting combined. The book had a finished first draft. Her body had changed. Her career had taken a step up because her work quality had improved. Her finances had quietly built. Not because she'd set those goals, because the standards she'd held had produced those outcomes as byproducts. She told me later the no-goal year was the most productive year of her life. And the most surprising thing was that she barely had to think about outcomes. She just hit her standards every day. The outcomes built themselves. The whole framework she'd been using before, with goals as the primary unit, had been backwards. I am telling you, standards are the unit. Goals are the byproduct. Once she saw it, she couldn't unsee it. She's been running the standards first approach ever since. You can do the same thing. Stop setting goals for a year. Pick 3 or 4 standards. Hold them every day. Watch what happens by month 12. The goals you would have set will mostly have arrived on their own. The 5th thing is why almost nobody does this, even when they hear it. The standards first approach is uncomfortable in ways that the goal-setting approach isn't. The work is invisible. The progress is hard to measure. There's no exciting destination to chase. There's just the daily holding of the line in unglamorous ways for months and years. You see, the goal-setting industry is built on the appeal of aspiration. The big goal feels exciting. The vision board looks impressive. The quarterly OKR sounds professional. All of that activity feels like progress, even when it's producing nothing. The standards first approach has none of that excitement. It's just you, making your bed, writing your 30 minutes, eating clean, going to bed early, day after day, without any visible milestone in sight. Here's the truth. You cannot skip the standards work. It is the actual work. The goal setting was always the performance of work. The mind preferred the performance because the performance produced dopamine through the planning and announcing. The actual work doesn't produce dopamine, at least not in the same way. It produces results slowly over months and years. The dopamine arrives much later when the results are visible. This is why most people, even when they intellectually understand the standards first approach, don't run it. The lack of immediate feedback feels like failure to the brain that's been trained on goal-setting dopamine. They drift back to setting goals within weeks because the goal setting at least feels like something is happening. The standards work feels like nothing is happening, even though the actual results are being built in the background. You must accept the invisibility. The standards first approach is invisible for months. The first 3 months, nothing visible has changed. The second 3 months, small shifts begin. The third 3 months, the shifts become noticeable. By month 12, the difference is substantial and undeniable, but none of that is visible in month 1. And most people quit before they get to the visible part. The fix is to trust the math, even when nothing is visible. Daily standards, held consistently, produce results that compound over a year. The compounding is real. The math works. You don't have to see it daily for it to be working. You just have to hold the standards and let the time pass. And it helps to have one person who knows what you're doing. Not to track you, not to keep you accountable in a heavy-handed way. Just to be aware of the experiment so you can mention progress as it becomes visible. The light social acknowledgement helps sustain the discipline through the invisible months. Most people running this approach alone, with no awareness from anybody else, quit. The light social structure helps. So you gotta hold the standards. You gotta trust the math. You gotta let the year pass. The results that the goals would have aimed at will arrive on their own. The work is invisible while it's happening. The results are visible at the end. So here is the inversion you must make. Stop treating goals as the primary unit of personal development. The goals have never been the variable. The standards have always been. The goal-setting industry has trained you wrong. The fix is to drop the goals, raise the standards, and let the standards produce the outcomes the goals were aimed at. The mechanics are simple. First, for 1 year, set no goals. None. No vision board, no yearly targets, no quarterly OKRs, nothing aspirational on paper. The temptation to set goals will be strong, especially around the new year. Resist. Goals are not the work this year, the work is standards. Second, pick 3 to 5 daily standards that, if held consistently for a year, would produce the kind of version of yourself you've been aiming at. The standards should be specific, measurable, and uncomfortable. Specific so you know whether you hit them or not. Measurable so there's no ambiguity. Uncomfortable so they actually require something of you. If the standards are too easy, they won't produce a meaningful change. Third, hold those standards every single day for the full year, including bad days, including holidays, including travel, including stress. The standards don't take days off. They are the minimum that runs every day, regardless of conditions. The good days might exceed the minimum. The bad days hit the minimum exactly. No day falls below. Fourth, don't track outcomes during the year. The outcomes are not your concern. The standards are. Track whether you hit your standards each day if tracking helps. Don't track weight loss, income growth, page counts of writing, or any outcome metric. The outcomes will take care of themselves. Your job is the standards. Fifth, after 12 months, look at what was produced. The book draft, the body change, the income shift, the relationship deepening. Whatever outcomes the standards produced, you did not aim at them. They arrived as byproducts. The year of holding standards has produced what years of goal setting could not produce. Here's the truth. You cannot chase wealth into existence. Wealth is not earned by chasing goals. Strength is not built by setting targets. Mastery is not produced by aspirations. All of them are byproducts of daily standards held consistently for years. The goal-setting industry sold you a different story. The story was wrong. The data is in. The standards-first approach produces what the goal-first approach never could. That's the whole reframe. Drop the goals. Pick the standards. Hold them daily. Let the year produce what it produces. By month 12, you'll have seen the proof. After that, you'll be running standards first for the rest of your life. Listen, here's what I want you to carry with you. The goals that have been failing for years aren't failing because the goals were wrong. They're failing because your daily standards don't support them. The fix isn't to set better goals. The fix is to drop the goals entirely for a period while you raise the standards that produce all the outcomes you've been chasing. Tonight, sit down and pick 3 to 5 daily standards. The ones that, if held for a year, would produce the version of you that the unmet goals have been hinting at. You must make them specific. You must make them measurable. You must make them uncomfortable. Don't pick too many. 3 is plenty. 5 is the absolute maximum. Then starting tomorrow, hit them every day. No exceptions, through bad days, through travel, through stress, through the days when you don't feel like it. The standards run every day. The exceptions are how the previous version of you let everything slide. The new version doesn't make exceptions. I am telling you, this is one of the most underrated approaches in personal development. The goal-setting industry will tell you that you need bigger goals, better systems, more accountability. They're all working on the wrong layer. The layer that matters is daily behavior. Daily behavior is determined by standards. The standards are the only variable. Hold the standards for a year. Don't set goals during that year. Track only whether you hit your standards. Let the outcomes take care of themselves. I am telling you, by the end of the year, you'll have produced more progress than in any previous year of your life, almost regardless of where you started. And then, looking back, you'll see that the goals you would have set were always reachable. You just had to fix the standards first. The goals were never the variable. The standards were. And the standards can be raised deliberately, starting tonight. You must pick the 3. You must write them down. You must run them tomorrow. Every single day for a year. I am telling you, the years are not negotiable. They will pass either way. The only question is what they produce. The standards first year produces something the goal-setting decade never could. Start with the 3. Tonight, before another year passes with goals that were never going to survive the standards underneath them. I am telling you, this is the single most underrated reframe in personal development. The goals are not where the leverage lives. The standards are. Move your attention to the standards, drop the goals for a year, and watch what happens. The version of you that arrives at the end of the years, the goal-setting version of you couldn't have produced in a decade. The work is small. The work is daily. The work is invisible until it's not. And then, somewhere around month 6 or 7, the results start becoming undeniable. You did not chase them. They came to you as byproducts of standards held consistently while everybody else was setting goals and missing them. You can be different, starting tonight, with 3 standards picked and committed to. Tomorrow morning, the first day of running them, then every day after, for a year, the standards run. The goals take care of themselves. The years produce what they produce. And the version of you at the end is the version that the standards built, not the version that goal setting promised. You got to start tonight with the 3 standards, not tomorrow, not after you've had a week to think about it, tonight. Because every day of delay is a day that the standards aren't running. And the standards not running produces nothing, regardless of how good the standards would have been once installed. Install them tonight, run them tomorrow. Then every single day after that, for the year that produces the version of you that 20 years of goal setting could not have produced. The pen is on the table. The notebook is open. The 3 standards are waiting to be written down. Write them now. That single act tonight starts the year that changes everything. Everything else follows from the 3 standards on paper.